Hello everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Dr. Iyabo. I'm the Money to Honey coach. I'm a business and lifestyle coach for women. I'm also a board certified pediatrician. Welcome to my channel. My channel, if you don't know, is all about making your money, being financially free, and also attracting your honey and taking good care of yourself. So those are the three things that I will help you with on my platform. So welcome to my channel. If you already haven't subscribed, you're missing out. So before we even get into this video, make sure you pause, hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure that you turn your notifications on for my channel so you don't miss all these amazing videos I will be releasing several times a week. So welcome to my channel. Today I am discussing the rules for online dating. This video has been long coming for me because many of you women out there who follow me in the parts of the world that I've talked about, the USA, Nigeria, London, England, Ghana, and Canada. Those are my top 5 places. Many of you have inquired about how I met my husband, and I've told you that we met on Match.com. So today I'm going to take my time to give you the rules about online dating, because aside from even the way I met my honey, because of the pandemic, because of the COVID situation we find ourselves in, which is not easing off anytime soon, God help us, I understand that online dating has become even more popular. And remember, ladies, that this also applies to meeting guys on social media, because now I understand that it's not only platforms like Tinder or Match.com that are helping women meet men, but other platforms like just your social media, like your LinkedIn DM, your Instagram DM, your Facebook DM, have also been places where men and women are chatting. So everything I'm talking about today applies to all the dating in this online virtual space we find ourselves in. Women, Dr. Iyabo wants you to date right. Okay, if you date right and you date wisely, you will attract the man of your dreams. You will get this man that you've been looking for. There's 7 billion or 8 billion people in the world. Your soulmate is out there somewhere for you, but you may have met him and missed him, and you dated wrong, and you just didn't date the right way, and he slipped away from you. So here we go. Let's dive right in. I have 12 rules for online dating for you. The first rule is, which I've shared with you many times, it is perfectly okay for you to reach out first. So for instance, if you're on Match.com and you notice a guy online, or you're on social media and you notice a guy, make sure he's single. Okay, don't reach out to married men, and don't reach out to men who are taken, who have girlfriends. Please don't do that, because there's a law called karma. If you steal a guy from his woman and you end up with that guy, somebody else will come and steal him from you. Don't do that. Do not hurt your fellow sister. So a single eligible bachelor, if you notice him online or you notice him on a site like Match.com, like I did, it is fine to reach out to him. There's nothing wrong with that. However, there are many rules around that number one itself. Keep the message brief. Don't start sending a whole long message. Keep it brief. Keep it non-sexual, keep it non-physical. So for example, I told you when I saw my honey on Match.com, I noticed he was handsome, I noticed he was British, I noticed he was 6'4", because he knows that women like tall women like tall men. So of course, the first line he had on his profile was, I'm 6'4" and I'm British. No, actually I'm English. He calls himself English, not British. You know, he says he doesn't understand why people say British. It's meant to be English because he's from England. But he said, I'm 6'4" and English. And those two things were perfect for me because, like I told you, I was really searching for a European guy, and he was handsome. But I didn't message him and say, hi, you're so handsome, or hi, you're so tall. I didn't say that. I kept it neutral. I just said, hi, I see that you're British. Believe it or not, I have also lived in England for 5 years. And in fact, England is like my second home because I visited England a lot from when I was 5 years old. That was it. I didn't say, oh, you're handsome. I didn't say, oh, I've been looking for a European guy all my life. I didn't say that. You want to keep it neutral, non-sexual, no sexual innuendos, no physical innuendos. If he has some interesting pictures other than himself on his site, you can comment on those. Or if he says, he talks about that his hobby is reading, you can also say, oh, what was the last book you read? I love reading too. Keep it non-physical, non-sexual, okay? Do to this guy what you would expect him to do to you, right? You don't want a guy to see you online and then all he's talking about is, oh, you look sexy, or oh, you look beautiful, or I mean, you look beautiful is fine. I don't want to get too technical. But guys who are high quality guys will not focus on a woman's appearance when they first message her. They'll focus on other things. Like, oh, something like, oh, it's so fantastic that you're a doctor and you own your business. It's so fantastic that you're an author. I remember the high value guys that messaged me on Match. Those were the kinds of things they messaged. They didn't say, oh, you look, the ones that you would say, oh, you look sexy in your something, or you look, those ones I just deleted them. So it is fine to reach out to a guy. That's the number one rule. Don't feel like you're chasing him. It is fine to reach out. Keep the message brief, keep it non-sexual, keep it non-physical, and keep it down to just 1 or 2 statements. Don't send a long essay on your first encounter. The only thing is, like I've said on several videos, you can make the first move, but after that, that is it. Don't make any more moves after the first move. If you make the first move and this guy then sees you, reads your message, goes to your profile, likes what he sees, you will not have to do anything anymore. He will then start making all the second to 1,000 moves. But you can say hello, like I said, and just give a very non-sexual message, and he will continue. So don't send the first message and then keep sending messages after messages and being the first person to send. That is chasing. You do not want to chase a man. So I hope you understood number one. You can reach out, keep it brief, but that's the only reaching out you're allowed to do. Because if the guy now sees you after that message and he wants to be with you, he will continue the process. Number two, the phone number situation, okay? After you've been messaging on Match for 1 or 2 days or 3 days, and you want to move the messaging out of the DM or out of the online dating, a good man, a high value man will ask you and say, Iyabo, may I please have your number? I would like to call you off of this DM offline. May I have your number? Can I call you? So this could go in different ways. If you're a woman who's very protective of your space like I am, and you're not yet sure about this guy, and you don't really want to give your phone number to a stranger, let's say he messaged you first, and you kind of like him, but you're not sure, but you don't want to give your phone number out to a stranger, you can say, I'm sorry, but it's a bit too soon. I would rather not give you my phone number right now. Can we just continue messaging on this platform for a little bit longer? Okay, it's fine to say that. And if you say that, a respectable man will say, oh, that's fine. I understand that. I respect that. That's fine. We can just continue chatting on here. And you'll notice that he will keep chatting you the first time. The following day, he will be the first person to chat you again in the morning and say, hey, Iyabo, how are you? How's your day going? What are you doing today? It's so lovely to meet you. You know, you'll keep chatting. And then once you feel comfortable about giving him your number, you can then say, oh, here you go. You can have my number now. Feel free to call me. That is fine. Or the conversation could go this way. A man who just wants sex or who just wants to play around with you will often say, here's my number, call me. That is not acceptable. You are not going to call a man, okay? So if that happens, just say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't call men. I don't chase men around. Here's my number. Feel free to call me. That is what you need to do. If a man gives you his number and says, call me, do not call him. That is starting to become a sign of somebody who just wants to play around or who wants to feel big and wants a woman to chase him. A man should not be telling you to call him. If he wants you in his life, he should be telling you that he will call you. So if he says, here's my number, call me, just say, oh, I'm sorry, but I don't call men. I don't chase men. Here's my number. You feel free to call me. Or you can say, I'm sorry, I don't call men. I don't chase men, and I don't feel comfortable yet on day 1 or day 2 to give you my number. Do you mind if we just chat in my DM or on Match for another couple days until we get to know a little bit a little bit more of each other? That's fine to do. But please, men who say, take my number, call me, those are men who have some ego problem. They just want to feel big and they want to feel good. A man should be asking for your number to call you. I hope number 2 was understandable for you. Okay. Number 3, keep your messages short. Okay, women, some of you talk too much and some of you reveal too much too soon. If you're still DMing and you're still on Match.com and you haven't taken it offline, in fact, in the first several weeks, keep your texts short and your DM messages short. Okay, you shouldn't be on DM and text for weeks without seeing each other, but I'm coming to that. But let's say in the first 0 to 5 days, you're still on your DM and text. You haven't moved it offline to calls because you're not yet comfortable giving him your number, which is a sign of a high value woman. Don't tell him your whole life story in the DM and text. Some women write essays. You don't want to write him an essay and then he replies you back with 1 or 2 words. Okay, keep your messages brief. Hi Iyabo, how are you doing today? How's your day going? Oh, my day is going well. I was just about to go to the gym. How's your day going? That's it. You don't need to start giving him a story. Oh, actually, I'd like to lose 10 pounds this year. I'm going to the gym. I've been reducing my chocolate intake. And you know, my sister told me I'm too fat. And you don't need to reveal all of that. Keep it short and sweet. Okay, women, don't start writing essays. And don't message him first. I hope you're listening to this. I'm giving you the progression, right? In your DM on your text, don't message him first. If he's the first person who saw you on social media, sends you a nice, cute message, reply him and then make sure he initiates all the other DMs. Don't wake up in the morning and then send him a DM and say, how are you doing? You're not going to be able to figure out if this guy likes you or not. If you start messaging him first and DMing him first, no matter what anybody tells you, if people are saying you should message a guy first, I tell you no, I disagree with them. I tell you no, I disagree with them because we women do not know how to, once we fall in love too fast, we get to like and lust after men too fast. And once we start sending messages, we start imagining in our head how we love this man. We start imagining our wedding day. Let him chase you. Let him show you his interest so you'll know. Sit in your femininity and in your strength and in your high value. Let him message you on DMs and on online dating first. But number 3 was keep your messages short. Nobody wants to hear your whole life story in the beginning. Keep them short and sweet. Leave some mystery about you. Men like mysterious women. Okay, you don't need to dump it. If you start sending him essays from your DM and from text, men like to call us naggers. He's going to start thinking in his head, oh my gosh, if I marry this one, she's not going to stop talking. She's going to be one of those nagging women. Keep it short and sweet, okay? Number 4, the conversation should progress, okay? We're warming up now. Don't become that woman who is just going to stay in the DM and in the virtual space with a man indefinitely. Definitely by day 5 of sending DMs and day 5 of online chatting, this man should have made some mention about wanting to see you in person. He should have, okay? If that hasn't come up and you guys are now just comfortable virtual friends by day 5 and there's no mention of, I really would love to see you. What's your availability? Can I have your phone number so I can call you? What's your availability? Can we meet for coffee? Can we meet for tea? I'd love to take you to dinner. If there's nothing like that and it's day 5, you need to start wondering if this man is just one of those unserious men, okay? If it's day 5 and he hasn't asked you, I didn't say you should ask him. Don't ask him. This is what you need to do. Stop responding to his messages. Leave a longer gap before you respond. So if by day 6, this guy messages you again with like, Iyabo, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going today? And you reply him the morning of the 6th, and he doesn't reply you back with, hey, when can we meet? I'd love to. And he's still just wanting to continue some dead-end conversation. Don't respond anymore. Don't respond. In fact, you can do that by day 5. Don't respond anymore. A man who really is into you, starting to like you, by day 6, definitely. Before, I'm using day 6 because it shouldn't take a week. I'm using day 6 because it should not take a week before before a man decides that he needs to see you. If he still hasn't decided that he wants to see you and all is just some dead-end talk and he just wants to continue virtual talking, it is time to ignore his messages. Ignore his messages for days, okay? Ignore his messages. Okay, and then maybe if he sends you a message again after like day 8 or day 9 and he's like, oh, I didn't hear from you, you can then reply him after 3 or 4 days and say, oh, hi, I was busy. I just don't chat men indefinitely in the virtual world without seeing them. I've just been really busy. Don't tell him I'm busy seeing other men. Don't say whatever. Don't get angry. Just say, oh, you know what? Hi, thanks for reaching out again. It's just that my values are not dating, continuing virtual conversations endlessly, so I've just been really busy, something like that. But don't give him an angry message. Just say, oh, I'm sorry, I've been busy with schoolwork, or I've been busy with my kids, just show some busyness in your life. Show some busyness in your life and just say that you've been busy. I'm so sorry, my daughter is calling me. So just say that you've been busy with doing some things and don't make it like you're angry with him, okay? Just say, oh, I'm sorry, but I've been busy, but I just don't continue virtual conversations endlessly with men. And then stop there. Don't say, and why haven't you asked me out? Just say, I'm sorry, but my value is not continuing endless virtual conversations with men. I prefer real, communications. And then stop there. Don't ask him, okay? Don't ask him, why haven't you asked me out? When are we going out on a date? Don't ask him that, okay? Now moving on to number 5, okay? Hello, everybody. I'm back now. So this is number 5. It's related to number 4. You are not on this DM or online dating site to have an imaginary virtual relationship with a guy. The conversation should evolve. It should progress naturally. Definitely a guy who wants to see you, who's getting interested in you, should start evolving and progressing the conversation naturally from just chatting in the DM and chatting in the virtual world to asking for your phone number and wanting to call you so he can plan a date. You should not, listen to me, you should not be chatting with a man still on day 5, 6, 7 without any progress from him asking you for your phone number so he can call you and move away from the virtual imaginary world. If by day 5 or day 6, like I said, he's still just chatting and bringing up some dead-end conversation online, stop responding to his messages. And if he keeps messaging you, wait for 3 or 4 days and then respond and say, I'm sorry, but I do not like to have endless virtual conversations with guys. Okay, so that is number 5. You're not in this for an imaginary virtual relationship. Number 6, let's talk about safety. Safety first, okay? A lot of you, because you've heard that people on online dating are pedophiles or they're murderers or whatever. They're pedophiles and murderers also in the real world. You just have to use your gut instinct and your intuition, guys. Safety first. Don't give out any personal relationship. Do not send money to anyone. There's some of you gullible women out there. I've heard some stories and I'm like, I can't believe it. If a guy is asking you for money to come and visit him, or he's asking you for money, look, I have made this mistake before in my 30s when I first got divorced. Yes, Do not. Some of those guys are they'll tell you, oh, I'm working on a deal. The money is about to come in. Can you just borrow me $300 to come and see you or something? Do not send anybody 1 cent, 1 kobo, 1 naira, $1, €1. Don't send anybody any form of money, okay? This is a guy who just wants to use you. Don't give out your personal information. Don't give out your address. Don't give out your kids' names. Don't give out any personal information. Don't send anybody money. And when you are going on a date, make sure you tell all the people that are close to you, your sisters, your brothers, your best friend. Tell people where you're going on this date and what the name of this guy is. And make sure you Google him before you go out on a date with him. Make sure you have his first and last name before you actually go out physically on a date for him. Put his name into Google and make sure that he doesn't have some criminal record or criminal history, okay? So safety first. This is really, really important. Don't give out your personal information. And when you're going out on the date, make sure it's in a public place. I wouldn't recommend going out for a walk with a guy. This is why I don't like walks. Unless it's some really big park where you know it's going to be a busy day and there's loads of people around. Going out with a guy to a park is could be a little dangerous. What if he drags you into some corner or drags you behind some trees? I wouldn't go to a park with a guy, but if you want to, that's fine. Just make sure it's a busy park. Or if going hiking with a guy, be careful. What if he takes you hiking in some remote place where there's nobody else? The safest thing is go to a restaurant, go to a coffee shop, go to a tea shop in the city or where there's other people for the first several dates until you feel safer around him. Be careful about hiking and going to the park or going to some waterfalls or places where it's only going to be you and him. Be careful of those. So that was number 6. Number seven, I know some of you women do this, some of you grown women, which I cannot believe. No texting of body parts, okay? A high value man is not going to ask you to send him nude pictures, okay, guys? A high value man is not going to say, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so wonderful, I can't wait to kiss you, but please send me a picture of your tits, or please send me a picture of your butt, or please send me You do not want to do that. Or please send me a picture of yourself in a swimsuit. It's starting to get sexual. This guy does not respect you. All he wants is sex. This one, I'm not going to waste time on it because I cannot believe that any mature woman even does this, okay? If a guy is asking you for bathing suit pictures or nude pictures or starting to talk about sex or starting to talk about how do you kiss, do you like French kissing, anything that is sexual before you become exclusive with this guy, you need to block him and move on. He's not serious. He just wants to use you, okay? Number 8, now on the profile of the guy, be careful about the guy who all his profile pictures are only headshots. If you see the profile of a guy who the only picture he has on his profile or the only pictures he has are just his head profile, then he's hiding his body. Most people who are confident and comfortable of how they look will have several pictures of themselves full length on a picture. I made this mistake a few times when I first started online dating. I would see the handsome face and everything clean cut. Then you get to the date and the guy is like 300 pounds, okay? Or he says he's 5'10" and you get to the date and he's like 5'5". So if a guy only has a picture of himself, of his face on his profile, and he messages you, let him know. There were some guys that I asked and I would say, I'm sorry, but I have lots of pictures on my profile. You can see how I look. I would appreciate that you post some more. Don't tell him to text them to you or DM them to you. Just say, I would appreciate it if you could upload some more pictures of yourself, of full-length pictures of yourself to match mine, just so that we both know how we both look. It's fine to do that. And if the guy never messages you back, you know why. It's because he's probably overweight, he's fat, or there's something wrong with his body that he doesn't want you to see. Just move on. If it's a guy who maybe is just starting the profile fresh and he's about to post pictures and that was just his first picture, he'll post the pictures for you if he's serious about you. So be careful about those guys who have only headshots there. Or it's sometimes guys who post headshots of themselves from 20 years ago, and then you see them in real life and they look like they're 80 years old, okay? So be careful of only headshots. Most people who are proud of the way they look will post pictures full length on Match.com. Don't listen to any excuses they say. It's because of this, it's because of that. Okay, then post the full length pictures. Let us see. So be careful of only headshot pictures. Also on number 8, be careful of headshots that look too model-like. You know, like stock pictures of models. There's many men who go online and fish out fake pictures of men who look so good, who look like GQ. If you see one picture of a guy who just looks like he looks too handsome, too good to be true, it is probably fake. It is probably a man who's married and who doesn't want to post his own pictures online. So if this guy looks way too perfect, find a way to go online and see if that picture also exists online. Take a screenshot of that picture. I think there's an app or something that you can put that picture in to see if it exists online, and then you'll see that the name of the person doesn't match the name he gave you. So be careful about those perfect looking pictures that look like GQ and just model pictures. A lot of the time they're fake, and this is a married man or somebody or someone with a criminal background who's hiding his real face and just using the pictures of a model, okay? Number 9, it depends on your preference. I don't reply messages of men who hold fish in their pictures. I just don't. This one may sound, offensive to some people, but I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't know what it means. I think it's a southern thing where men are on their boats and they have these pictures of a fish that they just caught. I think it's silly. I think it's immature. I think it's just a little bit strange. I don't reply messages of men who hold fish. I just know that I'm not going to be compatible with that kind of guy. It's usually the guys in the deep south who do that. I don't have anything against the guys in the deep south, but I know my preference and I know what I prefer. So I just wanted to put it there that if you know you're not going to match up with these kinds of guys who hold fish in their pictures, move on. Don't reply their messages. Number 10 is very important. Be careful of the guy who has a bunch of bare-chested pictures on his profile. Usually those are guys looking for sex. Those guys who take mirror selfies and all they have on is a towel on their waist and their chest is bare. You can't be a respectable man, to me, and be posting pictures of your bare chest on a dating profile. Or if a man sends you pictures in his DM and he has half naked pictures on there, you can be 1000% sure all he wants from you is sex. He just wants you to see his body so that you can start to lust after him, and then he'll start sending you sex related texts, and then you get into this cycle. You start lusting after each other. Don't do it. A respectable man will be fully dressed and look like a good masculine, high value, high quality man on his pictures. Avoid men who are half naked in their pictures. They're not good for you. They don't want a true relationship. They just want sex from you. Please, if a man has a towel picture in his profile, delete him, block him, move on. Number 11, some men will put on their profile the kind of women they want. There are many white men who will put on their profile, I only date white women. If you're a black woman or you're Hispanic or you're mixed or Indian, don't message that man, okay? Don't message him. Even if you feel like he's good for you or you think he'll change for you, if he's clearly putting on his profile, don't message me unless you're white. Don't message him. Okay, there were many that I saw. There were many men that I saw that said, I don't date black women. Black women, please stop messaging me. Or they'll say, I only date white women. On their preference, they only have white, Caucasian. Don't send those men any message. You're going to be wasting your time. And if he changes his rule and messages you back, you can be sure he just wants to use you for sex, for a one-night stand, and drop you. If he has told you what he prefers and you don't fall into that category, don't message him. Or if he messages you and you see that in his profile, ask him why he's messaging you. Tell him that you're not interested. He's already said on there that he only wants to date white women and you're not white, so why is he sending you a message? Block him and move on. Because that kind of man, yes, if you open up to him, you'll meet him offline and all he will want is sex, and he'll drop you like, trash and move on to the kind of woman he wants to date. Then my final one, number 12. Number 12. Long distance relationships are already hard enough, okay? Those of you who start chatting men online or on social media who live in another country, I think you're wasting your time. Bad news, but I think you're wasting your time. Honestly, I put it as number 12 because I don't want to be too harsh. But relationships in person and somebody who lives in your neighborhood or in your same city is hard enough. Talk less of somebody who lives in France and you live in Ghana. It is impossible. It's like, stop having this fairy tale romance where you think, oh yeah, this French guy or this English guy is going to help you become a citizen, and then he'll move you to France and he'll move you to England. It's all untrue. It's all a fairy tale romance, okay? Please just meet guys who are within like 25 to 50 miles of you. Don't get involved with all this long distance fairy tale online romance. Yes, if it's somebody that you were introduced to in real life and this man already has a plan of moving to your area even before he met you, then maybe that's one in a gazillion chance. But if it's somebody who already has a job in his country, he's established in his country, and he's lying to you that you're the person for him, he's going to move you to his country, make you a citizen, be the love of your life, it's not true. So guys, so that you don't get into all that emotional, imaginary stuff, women, don't chat up men who live in another country. Don't chat up men who live in another faraway state. Honestly, people rarely move for other people. Yes, I know you've heard of stories of people who move, but it's rare. You can try it if the state isn't far. Okay, let's say you live in Georgia and there's a guy who lives in North Carolina and he's saying he'll move for you. I guess you can try it out and see. But it is hard. It is tough. You'll have to find a job in Georgia. He'll have to relocate, do this. There's many men where you are. Just look for a man in your own locality and don't have a stressful, long distance relationships are tough, especially if you met the person on DM or on online dating. It's going to take forever to meet him. It's going to be like, who's going to travel first to see each other? I had a friend who was dating somebody online, chatting with somebody online. She lived in Georgia. The guy was in Tennessee. This silly guy kept expecting her to fly over to Tennessee to come and meet him. He would always ask her and say, so when are you coming over? When are you flying over to Tennessee to meet me? If a guy is telling you to fly to come and meet him, block him. Okay, it's the same thing as I don't remember which number I said, the phone number thing. If a guy says, here's my phone number, call me, it's the same thing. He should make the first move. He should say, what's your phone number? I'll call you. If he lives in Tennessee, he should be saying, when are you free? I'd like to fly down to Georgia to see you. A guy should not be asking you, so when are you coming to Tennessee to see me? Please, 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 that kind of guy wants to use you. He just wants you to chase him. He wants to feel on top of the world and be egotistical. He probably has many women he's asking that they should come and see him. He only wants sex. If you buy a ticket and go and see that man in the next state, he's going to try to have sex with you and dump you. He should get off his BUTT from Tennessee, get a plane ticket and come and see you in Georgia. So number 12 is kind of complicated. I don't want to say no, never involve yourselves in long distance relationships, but I will say no, never to another country. If you're in another country, it's no never, okay? If you're in America and you're dating somebody in Ghana or vice versa or France, that's fairy tale. But if it's a nearby state and you're in America, maybe it will work. Even those rarely work because most people cannot just uproot themselves from where they are and move for love. Yes, it has happened. If you ask some people who did it, they'll tell you, yes, it happened, but it was tough. We didn't see each other for months at a time. It was tough. It was tough. There were trust issues. So guys, it's not worth it. Basically, it's not worth it. I would just say, look for a guy who's about 25 miles away from you. 25 to 50 miles. 50 miles is fine. You guys can commute back and forth. 50 miles is far. Anything beyond 50 miles is it's going to be more like a fairy tale imaginary relationship. So I hope that helped. I'm not going to do a recap. If you want to watch the video again, just rewind it and go back and watch it. But these are 12 things that will totally change your online dating or your social media dating life. Because now I've heard that there are many people meeting people on social media because this is the life we live in. We all live in the virtual life now. But if you put all these 12 things into practice, it will change your dating, online dating and virtual dating life. And you'll rapidly progress to the real dating world and see if this guy is suitable for you. Because anything that is still in the text or DM is still an imaginary relationship. Until you start talking on the phone and planning to see each other, you're just in an imaginary relationship. So keep the imaginary texting and DM messages to a minimum of 0 to 5 days. Keep it to a minimum. Don't start becoming a virtual friend forever. Okay, please don't do that. I hope this helped. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please comment below. Please like it. A lot of you still don't comment. A lot of you still go to my Instagram DM or my Instagram page to tell me how you liked my YouTube video. Even if it's just 2 words, great video. That's all I need from you. Just say great video. Just say this was fantastic. You don't have to write me a story. Please comment. If you could take 20 minutes to watch this video or 30 minutes or however long it was, I'm sure you can take 1 millisecond to post a quick comment, like it and subscribe. I love you all. God bless you. See you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.